Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Wine Library TV. I'm your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. And today we're going to be focusing on a very special wine from Barossa, but even more importantly, we will be talking about decanting. And so I'm really excited about this episode because I think it's going to be a very eye-opening experience for many of the viewers. Again, the comments have been flowing in, the emails are streaming in, and everybody's so excited about the value and the learning experience, and that's just got me very jazzed up. So today I'm inspired to talk about decanting because I think it's very important and there's some interesting things about it, and so we will get into that. Before I get into decanting, I'm going to talk about Amon Ra. Amon Ra, and specifically the 2004 Shiraz, is one of the great Shirazes from Barossa Valley, which to me, Barossa Valley is really the Napa Valley of Australia. It is the top growing area for all premium Australian Shiraz especially. Ben Glaetzer is son of Colin Glaetzer. Colin Glaetzer created the E&E Black Pepper Shiraz, which is very famous and has had big scores. Ben and his father agree in the same philosophy of terroir. Terroir really means soil, the land, believing in the land. And the land where this comes from, the Ebenezer Vineyards, has 80 to 100-year-old vines, just old gnarly vines of phenomenal Shiraz, sometimes only pulling a half a ton to the acre, which is such a small amount, and that's why you're getting such great quality. These wines have gotten tremendous scores from Robert Parker, the real famous wine critic in the world, and from Wine Spectator and Tanzer. Everybody really has adored the Glaetzer wines, including the Matolo wines and the Amon Ra. So I'm a big fan of the wine, and I thought it would be a great wine to use for decanting. Decanting. Why do people decant? People decant mainly because at this point, in this era of wine, to really let a wine with a lot of flavor or a lot of acidity, a very young wine, to breathe. More open space, allowing the oxygen to come in and break up the tannins and give you more flavor, more on the nose. In the old days, the reason that people were decanting was before this unfining and unfiltering that winemakers do in the modern era, a lot of wines had tremendous amounts of sediment. So you basically had to decant out of necessity, and that's why you may have seen in those old movies with the candle, so you can see how much, you really don't need a candle anymore to decant wine because there's really no residue or anything really left over. Now, wine that's about 10 or 15 years may collect some sediment. So if you've ordered an old wine or at a restaurant or have had an old wine in a wine tasting, you will notice the sediment, and again, the candle or the light will come in handy. But in today's era, nowadays, the real great use for a decanter is to allow a young wine to open up a little bit more than it is at this point. You tend to get a lot more flavor, a lot more approachability, and just a lot more complexity and fruits and everything really by decanting, because the air is coming in, breaking up the tannins and allowing you to taste the wine. So let's do that today. Here is a bottle of 2004 Amon Ra Shiraz that has been decanted for about 4 to 5, 6 hours. Here is a fresh bottle of 2004 Amon Ra. So let's open it. I rarely use a foil cutter. I always go to pull it off. So if you can pull it off, it's like saves you a step. Bingo. So, let's pour this and let's analyze the difference between this and the difference between this. Smelling this wine on the nose right away, I almost get like a soap smell. You know, it's kind of very closed. These are big wines. I mean, this is as black as any wine that we have tasted on Wine Library TV. Very closed still. I'm trying to swirl it, kind of bring a little oxygen to it. Kind of a very soapy medicine kind of smell. Now, to the 5 or 6 hour decanted Shiraz. None of the soap, excuse me. Tons of licorice, black currant, blackberry, blueberry pie. Completely different. I just wish you were here right now to smell how different these two wines are. Let's taste them. I'm going to start with the older one. Just explosive. The flavor is immense. This is a 15% alcohol Shiraz, which is amazing. It's just so rich. Pitch black. Just completely coats your palate. I mean, this is way too young. This is an 04. Even with the 5 or 6 hours that this has been decanted, it's still just explosive. It's like grape juice on steroids. It just explodes on your palate. Such a big wine. Coating the palate, real long 45-second to a minute finish. The tannins are still firm. There's still a little heat from the alcohol. That will kind of integrate with the fruit over 4 or 5 years. This is going to be an amazing wine in 10 years. Just amazing. 93 points from Robert Parker, and I'm going to tell you something right now. I think Bob missed it. This is a 95-point wine. Easy, maybe even 96 or 97 points. This is a hedonistic bomb. I mean, it's just amazing. So well structured. Now, the same wine. Just 6 or 7 hours younger in the breathing aspect. Nose is still not coming around. This is my favorite episode of Wine Library TV. If you ever have the chance to do what I just did, make the investment and buy a $50 to $100 wine that's young, and do what I did. Maybe on a Saturday morning, pop open at 9 a.m., and then go out and do your things, and then at dinner, do this little thing. I will tell you right now, you will decant every single wine you ever buy again. It is just fundamentally stunning how bitter, how zesty, and how alcoholic this wine is right now. And it's so funny. People come to me and say, Gary, I didn't love that wine you recommended. And I'll ask them, how long did you open it before you drank it? Oh, we took it to a restaurant. That's what it comes down to. You get into serious wine, you better be ready to play serious. If you're going to drink a wine that is of the caliber of an Amon-Ra or any top-notch Bordeaux, you better put at least 3 to 5 hours of commitment into it. Put it into a decanter and let it breathe. You will get so much more for your money. It's just unbelievable. It's almost like buying a $30 pound cheese and eating 1/4 of it and then throwing it out. That's what you're really doing when you open a big-time wine and you drink it right out of the bottle. You're just not getting what you're paying for. It's like watching 3/4 of a football game and then leaving. That's what it's about, guys. Please, open your wines. Decant them. And you know what? You're going to hear something funny. Buy $8 wine and decant it. A lot of those wines are flawed, and a little air can really help out. The acidities tend to get high, and there's not a lot of fruit. A little $20 decanter like this, and that's why I don't have anything fancy. Again, I'm not promoting decanters. I don't make them. I'm promoting drinking wine the right way and getting your bang for your buck. And if you're going to buy expensive wine, well, you best darn decant it, because you're going to get a much better experience, like the Wine Library TV experience. We'll see you next time.